Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano.
Welcome to Autodromo Internazionale del Mugello, the home of Ferrari, and welcome to T-Moe's World and week 12 of season 4 in 2025. The last week of the season, the last week of the GT3 Challenge Fixed Series, and the last time for me this season to learn another new track. Practice was fun on this track, I like it very much, but also you have to really take care to not be too fast in the exit of the corners, because it's easy to get carried off track then. So at the end of practice, I think I was maybe a second slower than I should have been for my rating. I still have not figured out this track completely yet, but that's okay, let's have some fun. Before we get started, as always, if you like my video, please feel free to give a like, consider subscribing or even leave a comment. And with that, let's go. See you after the intro. In race 1, I qualified on position 18 out of 20 races, and you might ask why. And the answer is, it was a strength of field of 2.4k. Only 2 splits with only 40 drivers in total were racing. And even with my 1.5k of iRacing, I was put into the top split, and you see at the top of the field there were racers with over 6k or 4k iRacing. So I immediately knew I would only fight against the bottom of the field, and I really took it easy at the beginning of the race. And let's see what the other drivers do. And as you can see on positions 3 and 4, there was already some shuffling going on. The driver in the yellow car, Enjoy, had a really bad start of the race, although he was very lucky to not be taken out here. But the bad luck for Enjoy continued. He obviously had problems controlling his car and got off track. So that's at least one position gained for me. Later this lap, Christian on position 12 had some trouble and lost some positions. And I was very lucky to could avoid any incident here when passing him. So that was also quite an interesting lap 1, and I gained 2 positions, felt very lucky here. So let's skip into lap 3. I was closing in on the 2 drivers in front of me, Dennis on position 16 and Jan on position 17. And they had a fight going into turn 1. And as they made contact here, they slowed down and I could hardly avoid contact. But Jan here was really slow, and so I decided to go for it. Skipping ahead into lap 4, Jan is still very close behind me, and he had an interesting driving style because he was very fast at times, but also very slow at other times. So I couldn't really figure him out, and here he goes for it. I tried to block the inside line and was hoping that was enough, but as you can see, a very clean overtake by Jan. Jumping into lap 6, Jan is still in front of me, but now also Christian is back really close behind me. Jan was running into a group of 2 other drivers, starting a fight here, and I was hoping I could maybe benefit from that. And there's the mistake by Jan. He slides a little bit, loses speed, and loses also 2 positions. So being on position 16 now is even more than I had hoped for at the beginning of the race. Let's see if I can keep that position until the end of the race. Until lap 8, nothing has changed, but now I was even very close to Dennis in front of me. I saw an opportunity here, tried to take it, but misjudged it, and that allowed Christian to take advantage and steal my position. So later this lap, Jan was again really close behind, and with a long straight coming up, I knew he would try to take this chance. So the same way as a few laps before, I tried to block the inside line, and this time I was a bit more successful. In lap 10, Christian in front of me had a fight with Dennis going into turn 1 of the lap, and he slowed down significantly here, and that made me brake really hard. And losing so much speed, Jan of course was now really sitting on my back. A lot of back and forth with Jan in this race, but that's racing and that's also part of the fun. Jumping into the final lap, I wasn't able to get close to Jan again, but now there's Ahmed. And why is Ahmed here? Let's take a look. A few laps earlier, Ahmed had this incident here. Nothing too bad, but driving backwards, he lost his rear wing. And of course, that makes the car trickier to handle and slower, and so he went from position 8 to 12 and then back to position 17 right in front of me. I noticed he was not too fast in the corners, and with half a lap to go, I had a slight hope of maybe gaining another position, so let's see. Ahmed did a great job surviving here and keeping his position until the finish line. So I finished on position 18, of course losing some iRating, no wonder, but it was a clean race and so I gained some safety rating. I was quite happy with that and I had lots of fun in this race. So let's go for another one, hoping there would be more races and more splits. In my second race, there fortunately were more splits and more races, so I landed in a split with a 1.5k strength of field and qualified on position 8. And here we go! Looks good so far, but have a look at the racer on position 1, the guy with the blue car. He's lagging in and out of existence. Add some netcode to that and see what happens. There's some battle going on between the racers in front of me and suddenly one of them loses control. I had to step on the brakes to avoid a crash and the other guy here uses that opportunity and overtakes me. I must have missed this apex and immediately lost 2 positions. But I saw a chance to get one back. That didn't work, instead I was losing another position. Jose lost his car here and I thought I might use the draft of that Audi to maybe get something done here. So Junior was blocking the inside line quite well, so I could only take the outside line here. That worked surprisingly well. And now Junior in the Audi was quite busy with Senna in the Aston Martin. Senna was really closing in, he was a really fast guy. I tried at least to defend him a little bit, but I had no chance here. Jumping ahead into lap 8, I was still on position 7, Senna meanwhile on position 4 with the fastest lap of the race. Let's take a look at the one guy in the blue car who was lagging at the start of the race. He was back at position 3 with Senna right behind him. And there he was gone. And meanwhile, I was closing in to the position where he was gone. And after about 10 seconds, he reappeared on the track, obviously going off track while he was away. I thought I could take my chance here, but this guy quickly regained his composure and stayed in front of me. All I got from this were 4 incident points because iRacing thought I had a crash here, which I didn't. Also, I thought they introduced a new feature where such guys who lagged so hard would be forced into the pits until the lagging was gone. So that wasn't the case here. Great job done, iRacing. Maybe it's time for some improvements. And that's basically it. That was my race. I finished on position 7. I was quite happy with that. I had a few incident points here, so my results were mixed. But anyway, great fun. That was the last race of the season. I hope you liked my video. If you did, please leave a like, consider subscribing. I would be grateful for that. But what the hell was that? Another 4 incident points gained here just for being crashed into after the race. Let's find out if this could have been intentional. We are now sitting in the cockpit of the Audi, and I must say, yeah, I parked on an unfortunate spot where he could see me very late. But anyway, I think he could have avoided this crash easily. But yeah, it is what it is. And with this being the last race of Season 4 in 2025, let's have a brief look at our iRating progression throughout the season. Season 4 started at the beginning of September, and there was clearly some progress going on, and still there's some progress, but most of my progress was lost in my last races in the Shame of Watkins Glen. If you didn't have seen the video, you should take a look. Also, this is the end of the very first year of iRacing and very first year of sim racing after a 15-year break. And there was some progress, even if it wasn't much. So I really think I'm an intermediate racer and always will be, but that's totally fine for me. Maybe a good goal for next year would be to get over 2K iRating. Let's see if I can do this. Next season I will be promoted to license A of the sports cars. I already had that last season and I couldn't keep it because I cannot manage to keep such a good safety rating, and clearly I will lose my A license latest after the next season, but that's also fine. I feel very good with being a B license driver. Also, I did some Formula racing, mostly Formula V and Formula Ford. I didn't focus on that, but that's always great fun, so maybe I race a little bit more of that next year. Also, I will be promoted to B license. And let's see if I can keep that. Or maybe even crack the 2K iRating in Formula racing. So that really wraps up my first year in iRacing and Season 4 of 2025. And with that, I say goodbye, have a nice week, have a nice Christmas, and bye-bye.